Okay, let's jump right in. We're taking a deep dive today into something that's just, well, it's everywhere, isn't it? The basics of AI in our digital world.
It really is. And, it can feel pretty overwhelming sometimes.
Totally. Like trying to find your way around Tokyo with a map from, I don't know, 100 years ago. It feels like that sometimes.
Yeah.
But that's what we want to tackle.
Yeah, cut through some of that confusion.
Exactly. We're
Yeah.
drawing a lot from Winston Trim's book, Beyond the App, which, by the way, takes a really approachable, sometimes pretty funny look at all this.
He really does. He starts off by pointing out this kind of funny gap between the sci-fi future we were sort of promised flying cars, robot maids doing the laundry.
Ah, yeah, the Jetsons life.
Right. And the reality we actually have, which is maybe less about robot butlers and more about these, well, pocket supercomputers we all carry.
It's true. We've got phones that can write poetry or, tell you what song is playing in the coffee shop. So,
Yeah.
not flying cars, but still pretty wild.
And Trim makes the point that this digital world isn't just like for fun or streaming shows. It's the actual infrastructure of so much of modern life.
Oh, absolutely. Think about it. Online banking, ordering takeout, talking to someone on the other side of the planet.
Mm.
It all runs on this digital stuff.
It's foundational. And AI is a huge part of that, even if we don't always see it directly. Trim calls it a slightly caffeinated digital wizard working behind the scenes.
I like that. A caffeinated wizard. Makes me think it's always busy, maybe a bit unpredictable.
Yeah, maybe a little hyperactive, processing things constantly.
Because, let's be honest, when people hear AI, the first image is often, Skynet, Terminator, sentient robots.
The sci-fi trope, yeah. But Trim really clarifies that the reality, right now anyway, is much more about teaching computers, teaching them to learn from data without needing someone to hand code every single instruction.
Right. He uses that analogy of teaching a dog tricks, right? But instead of biscuits, the treats are data points.
Exactly. The more data, the better the trick or the task the AI performs. It refines its understanding based on that input.
So like when Netflix suggests a show I might like,
Hmm.
that's it in action.
That's a perfect example. It's learned your preferences from what you've watched before. That's the data. And it's not just recommendations. Trim points out really serious applications too.
Like in medicine.
Yeah, helping doctors diagnose diseases from scans or even trying to predict stock market trends, though he adds a funny note about not expecting a private island from that just yet.
Huh. All right, fair enough.
Hmm.
But it's amazing that the same underlying tech can do both those things. Now, I can almost hear someone listening thinking, okay, cool, but I just want my Wi-Fi to work so I can watch my shows.
And that's totally fair. It's easy to feel removed from the technical side.
But Trim argues, and I think he's got a point, that even just using the internet requires some basic digital understanding now. Ignoring it is kind of like deciding not to learn how to read because audiobooks exist.
That's a strong analogy. It limits you, essentially.
Right. It's not about needing to become a programmer overnight. It's just about being a sort of savvy digital citizen. Trim lays out a few key reasons why this stuff matters to everyone.
Go on.
Okay, first, just staying safe. The internet's still a bit of a wild west. Recognizing scams, fake news, protecting your privacy. That takes some awareness.
Definitely. That's number one. What else?
Number two is making informed decisions. AI is increasingly involved in stuff that affects us directly, like getting a loan application reviewed or even how job applications get screened initially.
Yeah. So
Uh,
understanding a bit about how those systems work helps you navigate them better. Makes sense.
exactly. Third, there's just opportunity. The digital world is packed with ways to learn things, get creative, connect with people who share your interests. Knowing the basics unlocks that.
Mm-hmm. Accessing potential.
And the fourth one, maybe the most relatable, avoiding what Trim calls digital dinosaur syndrome. That feeling of being totally left behind by technology. Nobody wants that.
Yeah. Yeah, the fear of asking your grandkids how to work the TV remote.
Precisely. But what I found really interesting is how Trim balances all this tech talk. He really emphasizes that even with smarter AI, human skills become more valuable, not less.
That's a crucial point. Things like storytelling, real creative problem solving, empathy, intuition. AI isn't really there yet, is it?
Not in the same way. AI can process data like crazy spot patterns we'd miss. It's like a superpowered calculator or word processor. It handles the routine stuff.
Right, freeing us humans up for the stuff that requires, judgment, nuance, understanding context, that human touch.
Yeah, it's a tool, A very powerful tool, but still a tool,
Mm.
which makes understanding the jargon maybe a bit less scary.
Hmm.
Trim uses some great analogies for the buzzwords.
Let's hear them. Like algorithm.
He calls it basically a recipe for robots, a set of rules a computer follows to get something done. Simple as that.
Nice. Okay. Machine learning.
That's the dog training analogy again. Teaching computers to learn from data that treats without explicit programming for every single step.
Got it. And deep learning.
That's like advanced dog training. Using these complex networks, inspired by the brain, sort of, to learn really intricate patterns from massive amounts of data. Teaching the dog complex trick sequences.
Okay. And data itself.
Just the raw information. The ingredients for the AI recipe?
Makes sense. Cloud computing.
Think of it as a giant digital filing cabinet in the sky,
Ah.
storing stuff online instead of just on your own device.
Right. Accessing it from anywhere. And the last big one, IoT.
The Internet of Things.
Hmm.
Basically connecting everyday objects, your thermostat, your watch, your fridge, maybe, to the internet so they can talk to each other and share data. A digital home assistant network almost.
Okay, that clarifies things nicely. So if someone's listening and thinking, all right, I get it's important, but where do I even start? What's Trim's advice?
He keeps it really practical. First, just start small. Don't try to learn everything at once. Pick one thing, understand algorithms a bit better, maybe explore cloud storage, build gradually.
Good advice. Less intimidating.
And be curious. Like, poke around. Try that new app feature. Ask questions. Don't be afraid to experiment a little. Often the best way to learn is just by doing.
True. And find reliable sources. There's so much noise online. Look for info from, educational sites, reputable news outlets, trusted experts. Filter the junk.
Definitely. And talk to people. Find friends, colleagues, maybe even online groups who know a bit more. Learning from others is huge.
And, crucially, remember the balance. Tech is great, but don't forget real-world stuff. Step away from the screen. Connect with actual humans face to face.
Yeah, disconnect to reconnect, sort of. Because look, this digital future, it's not coming. It's here now. And AI is a massive part of it and getting bigger.
It's evolving constantly.
Right. So instead of being scared, Trim encourages, like an open, curious mindset. We might not have those flying cars yet.
Maybe someday.
Maybe. But for now, maybe just mastering the self-checkout or understanding why certain ads follow you online. That's a good start for navigating this modern world.
Absolutely. So, wrapping up our deep dive, the big takeaway really is getting a basic handle on AI and the digital world isn't just for techies anymore. It's becoming essential literacy for everyone.
Yeah, it empowers you, helps you stay safer online, make smarter choices, grab opportunities, and just not feel completely lost.
And always remember, as AI gets more capable, our uniquely human skills, creativity, empathy, critical thinking, they don't become obsolete. If anything, they become even more critical. AI is a tool to augment us, not replace us entirely.
Well said.
Which leaves us with a final thought, something to maybe chew on. As more and more everyday objects get connected to the Internet of Things and start generating constant streams of data about our lives and our environment, how might that fundamentally change how we interact with the world around us? What kinds of unexpected benefits or maybe challenges could arise as this becomes even more woven into our daily reality? Something to think about.